What's
Yeah,
up?
Chino Brothers.
Chino Brothers. Hey, who recorded that?
I don't know. It was part of the thing. Like I got lazy when I made that, and I found a service. If you look, I didn't pay for the service, so there's a watermark in the corner from the service because it was like, "Hey, unlimited downloads with our watermark." I'm like, "Sounds good to me."
I thought it was. I thought that was Ghostface Killer on the
I don't
track.
know. Dude, there's this
Pretty
new
dope.
service though that has like really ill like intros, and I might spring for it because I'm like, ooh, these are nice, and they're like $24 for a month. I'm like, bro, I'm gonna bleed your entire catalog in a month. Like,
Dude, I bet you, I bet you, Baby Dicky Smooth will bust out some beats for a hamburger bun. You
yeah,
think?
but dude, I can get beats no matter. Beats aren't very difficult to come by anymore.
Not anymore, huh? Not
No,
anymore.
because, dude, we were just talking about this off the air, you guys. We were talking about how there's no money left in the music industry. Like, so when we were young, like when we were in radio, and shout out to everybody at KOHT, big shout out to Paco and Adelaide. See if we can get Vicky on this show, please.
Yes, she's down. She's already down.
Yeah, hit her up, dude. Hit her up. Shout out to Chico. Shout out to Rascal. Shout out to Earn Dollars. Shout out to Dwayne Chavez. But anyways, shout out to Illmatic. Shout out to who else are we shouting?
Freddie Strokes,
At Malix.
Rascal.
I already gave him a shout out.
Oh, did you? Oh,
You liked all the mixed DJs. What was that one girl mixed DJ we had there? I can't remember her name anymore.
Gigi Sweet.
There you go, Gigi.
Down in L.A. Yeah,
Shout out
she's
to
the homie.
Gigi.
I forgot about her. She's awesome. I love her.
Yeah, shout out to Gigi.
Yeah,
I
she's
feel like you had a
yeah.
crush on her a little bit.
She was just cool. She was from South Central. She was a homie, and she was super sweet too. And she had skills on the turntables too.
She was good. Yeah.
So I had like a DJ crush on her. You'd be like, dang, she could rock the tables. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get you,
I'll
but
see ya.
I feel like you'd make out with her with that DJ crush. But anyways, getting back to what I'm
Oh,
saying.
sorry, Gigi. I hope that just.
I'm sure she's
you ever come
I'm sure
across
she's
this
watching.
video?
I'm sure she's watching.
Yeah.
Whatever, dude. She'll be sending you love letters.
But she's the
Like,
homie.
Sketch
She is the
was
homie.
right. Oh, anyways, she wasn't a bad looking lady. Get
Real
back to what I'm
pretty.
saying. Yeah, see, look, I told you. Back to what I'm saying. So back in when we were young, there was money in music because you make an album and everybody knows the DVD cost $1.25, $1.50. And they sold them for $18. And then on top of it, the record companies would fleece the artist by like back ending everything into it. So here's the thing. Did you ever feel bad about Napster and all that stuff? Or were you like, now record industry deserves it?
That's an interesting question because when you think about downloading music as a DJ, if you're doing the club, you got to have the new music and stuff. So you're kind of like, what am I going to do? Wait for wait for them to, drop a CD in the mail and be to get it 3 days, 4 days later, or I can download it right now, play it at the club, and be like, man, Emily's got all the dope new music. Or, sorry, bro, I don't have that song. Boo. You gotta. It's a tough call. It's a very tough call.
That's not. See, I felt completely different about it than you.
DJ EVP, what's up? That's Bako right there.
Yeah, dude.
661 repping.
DJ
Nice.
EVP. I didn't. That's not my take on the whole bootlegging music. For me, it was. I knew how much the artists weren't getting paid. I knew how much they were getting back end on all the deals. And I'm telling the truth. You know what I mean? We spent $70 million on promotion, so unfortunately, the album only made $50 or whatever it was, and just repeat it. Then when you're hearing these hip hop beefs, you're hearing it again and again and again, how people are getting screwed by these labels. So I never really felt bad. But at that time, there was so much money in the music industry. There was just insane amounts of money in the music industry. And now, not so much.
Yeah, you made money on the product called the CD, but then you also made money, merch, live shows, all this other stuff, endorsements if you got them, if you're lucky enough to get them. But nowadays, it's like you put your music out, you hope you get some shows, and you hope you can sell some merch. But dude, even in Bakersfield, we've had artists come through like the Fox Theater. Shout out to Matt that runs that over there. And he'd be like, hey, I got, like, for example, Snow the Product. And I'm like, I've never heard of this girl. She's like, but she's a YouTube person.
You never heard of Snow the Product for real? Or?
Well, at the time, this is a year and a half ago. And I was like, all right. But I was like, hey, and he's like, hey, we'll buy us, buy some commercials. We'll do some ticket giveaways. Dude, we give away tickets and it'd blow up. People like, oh my gosh, yeah, I want to see Snow the Product. And it didn't sell out a 1,500 venue. However, it was close to selling out, 1,000 tickets. Dude, when you got Bone Thugs and Harmony coming through the same venue, doing the same number in ticket sales, you're like, this YouTube thing, this media thing, this other outlet to get music is real. And Snow the product, not only making money on YouTube views and all that, but also live venues. I mean, Bakersfield, we're market what, 85? Not a huge market, but
Pretty close
85.
to LA though. That's a thing.
And we're close. Yeah, that's true. That's true. But I just think there's Fresno, there's Sacramento, there's all these markets like that.
Yeah,
And if you're
tiny
hitting
pocket
1,000
markets.
tickets,
Yeah.
selling 1,000 tickets, you're making a decent living off that. So,
Well, and now, like the
I never
company,
felt bad. EVP
Yeah.
never felt bad.
good DJ EVP, is that it?
Yeah,
DJ EVP, am I saying that right?
EVP.
DJ EVP, good for you, homeboy. I don't either. I've never felt bad about bootlegging music, although I've never done it if the FCC is watching or whoever busts you for bootlegging music. Like the thing for me is it's like, look, they screw the artists, like they overcharge for the product, and they put out mediocre product. Now we have all available to us all the information that we choose to consume. Music you would never hear, information that you would never be shared with you, and it's phenomenal.
Yeah.
But the reason why I'm saying that is because Adley just had the concert, and he was telling me how hard it is to turn a buck on a concert nowadays. And I'm just like, dude, I don't think there's money in the music industry at all anymore. Like,
It's very tough. I mean, our lineup was huge. EVP, you heard about it. I mean, it was, dude, In Too Deep, Baby Bash, Amanda Perez, and then old school, like Renee, Tierra, Malo. I mean, 7, 8 great artist groups, and that all costs money. And then you're trying to keep a ticket price affordable. So you're like,
how much were those tickets?
They started like $40, probably $40 GA. We had a VIP section that was like $75, and you got a free T-shirt with it, and you kind of were up close.
Price. That's a decent price ticket for that many artists. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think so. Nowadays, it's all festival. It's all, you got to have a good lineup. You got to have. I mean, if you have, gone are the days of main artist opener. I think those are kind of, I don't know. Those days are gone. It's tough. It's tough to justify a $50 ticket for one artist and maybe a decent opener.
It depends on the artist though, because like there's certain YouTube artists, there's certain YouTube artists that like transcend YouTube artists. You know what I mean? Because like there's YouTube artists that you're like, okay, I get it. That's your shtick. You're Mac Lethal. I don't know if you've heard of that guy before, but he's one of those guys. He goes on YouTube and he's like, here's the 10 different ways of hip hop, and he'll like rap like Busta Rhymes and then flow into like Dr. Dre. You know what I mean? Like nursery rap rhyme type of thing. You know what I mean? Like kitschy, silly, but like he'll have a big following, get 1.5 million downloads. So it's like, okay, you got 1.5 million views, you're monetizing. If you can get a couple sponsors, don't worry, bro, you're not gonna have to work. You know what I mean? So seriously, he's doing well monetarily, but then you have artists like Tom MacDonald, Dax.
Yes, I know who that is. I know that guy.
Dax. One of my favorites, which is Frank Turner. I got to share that guy with you.
Okay.
Brian Fallon. Like, these guys are phenomenal artists. I went and saw Frank Turner. Dude, that guy sold out Stage AE, which is about the same size as the Fox Theater, with 2 openers that he picked. And one of them was a local. Yeah.
That's
he's
awesome.
Just that popular. He's
YouTube though. This is only on YouTube pretty much. Maybe he's crossing over to radio from YouTube.
Possibly. I couldn't even tell you. I would say he's more just from shows. Like, people know him from shows. I first heard him on one of those comps. Those silly radio comps where it's like all brand new artists. Yeah.
Okay.
When I was going to Pitt, the college radio station there, which by the way has an FM frequency. Yeah, I know, huh?
Wow.
Dude. At Pitt, and I don't want to get too sidetracked, not only do they have a FM frequency, they had a TV channel, and their TV channel broadcast throughout all the dorms. And everybody I know that lived in the dorms there were like, yeah, bro, you had nothing to watch because you didn't have any good cable, so you just watch that silly thing. I was like, could you imagine
all student content?
Yeah, could you imagine what
awesome.
you and I would have done in camp radio if people were watching and like we knew we had a captive audience? But anyways, getting back to what I'm saying.
Scary.
So wait, where did I leave off before I started trailing over to
We're talking about radio? You started talking about Frank Turner. Hearing him
yeah. So I got one of those comps from the college radio station, and it was like hot new artist, hot new rock artist, And I listened to one of his tracks, and I'm like, this guy is phenomenal. So I just started listening to all his music. And then when my dad died, I flew out to California, and I just listened to Frank Turner albums the entire time. And then I put on his YouTube channel, and that's how I found Brian Fallon in Dashboard, Gaslight Anthem. So Gaslight Anthem was the band that Brian Fallon was in. And he was in a couple other bands. But, like, phenomenal artist. Okay, never heard of him. You've never heard of him. He's been around for 12 years. Will sell out, like, pretty decent-sized venues. And then toured with Bruce Springsteen. With Bruce Springsteen wanting to be on his tour. So, like, collabing with him.
And pretty much not a lot of radio play or zero or minimal.
I've never heard. I don't listen to the radio though, so that's the problem.
It's a little different now.
And then I guess you also have Spotify, so I shouldn't say it's all YouTube artists because a lot of guys are getting their stuff on Spotify or they're getting their stuff on
Pandora.
Pandora.
Or even YouTube Music's pretty legit too.
Yeah, it is, but that's
Apple
not
Music.
Like that's not where the kids are starting though. You know what I mean? They're starting on.
What's the streaming one? StreamCloud. SoundCloud.
Yeah, they're starting on SoundCloud. So they're SoundCloud artists. Man, we sound old, huh? What's that one? What did they call that? The Smashing Dumplings? Yeah. So yeah, like
we are old.
They'll start. I know. I just had that birthday getting closer to you. So a lot of these guys will start on that streaming service, and then it's just on SoundCloud, and then it's just they move farther, but they're touring constantly. And these guys are taking the rake. You know what I mean? Because they don't have promoters. So
and there's no label to pay if you're on YouTube.
Yeah, exactly.
There's no all you gotta it's all about how much you can grind and if it works then you actually get paid. Now there are YouTube channels like World Star Hip Hop because I'll go down that YouTube rabbit hole and I'll get on this hip hop rap, kind of thing. And a lot of it's not that great, but I'm watching it and it's entertaining in its own weird way. And you'll discover random artists, like what's the guy? There's a guy from Long Beach, an Asian dude, Stupid Young, and I'll go down and watch all
that
his
guy says
stuff.
the N-word all the time.
Yeah, and he's Cambodian. He's over in Cambodia town and Long Beach and stuff. And it's hood where he lives. It is hood. But dude, I kind of watch it in a weird way. You're like,
he's a Crip too, isn't he?
I think so. Yeah. And you respect the hustle. You know what I mean? He's trying. He's making music.
No,
Is
I'm
it all
not mad
good?
at him.
Yeah, but
I'm not mad at him. I'm not mad at any of those trap guys and any of that stuff. You can do whatever you want. I personally am not going to listen to it.
Right.
What Prospect say?
What's up, Mike? And what's up, DJ Odale?
Odale.
DJ Prospect checking in. That's what Danny P and I were on stage. And dude, and it's crazy. It's a madhouse. So I got to go on stage one time. And he's like, hey, what's up, everybody? Here's Adley. And I was like, yeah, a.k.a. DJ Odale. And it was pretty cool. And then threw out a couple T-shirts and stuff. But
that's pretty dope, dude.
But yeah, it's just, dude, it's a different world, man. It's totally strange. And really, the thing we started talking about was the promotional budget that went behind an artist. Because when Mike and I were doing radio in the 90s, this big tour bus would come up. It'd be it could be MC Poop Butt for all we know. But that they had to floss, they had to do this.
Dude, you remember TQ? That was a perfect example when TQ came to town and he had he got off his label and was like, I'm going completely independent. I want all my points. In Europe, they get like the artists keep more points. I'm putting this out completely independently. And he had that Indian manager. He was the beginning of the Smooth Indian cat. Was his manager? Was TQ's manager?
I vaguely remember that.
Yeah, dude, he was the first like Smooth Indian brother. And dude, I don't know why you vaguely remember that. Remember the videotape he gave us?
I do remember the videotape. Yeah. It was rated X.
It was a music video with pornography in it and like weird pornography. Like it was
that. There's a VHS tape. Remember that?
Yeah, I don't like. There's a hand motion I want to do right now to remind you of the video, but everybody would get what that was, and so I don't want to
shake weight.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't a shake weight. Maybe we'll talk about it. It's definitely we got to talk about it off the air.
Okay.
It's definitely
tomato that. Okay.
It's really really bad, but that's irrelevant. It's back then but the TQ was weird because he had that big bus and he was flossing, but he didn't have a label behind him. But back then there would be labels behind him.
Mm-hmm.
The radio station wouldn't pay for anything. He wouldn't pay for anything.
Remember that? Oh yeah. Yeah. it'd be like, what size shoe are you? And you'd be like, 9.5. All right. And then and it'd be promotional items, and it'd be shoes, fancy like Dadas or something, but it would say TQ on the side. Like they'd customize it to the artist, and you get like cool stuff. We'd always had like nice DJ bags, the crates, the
But they'd send
pullovers.
artists down, and we wouldn't pay for them because they'd be on radio tours. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah,
Like they'd come down
they
and
did
they'd
a
play.
show or two. Yeah,
The best was when it'd be on one of our nights at a club, and we were charging the owner extra per head. That was always the best. Do you remember when we do that, dude?
No, I don't remember that.
Sure. Dude, that was so long ago. There's no way you're getting busted for that at this stage.
Even over here, man, even in Bakersfield, they'd come through when I worked at KBDS, which is now Forge 103.9, but it was Play 103.9. All my old school Bakersfield people know that. Remember that?
Hold
station.
on, man. Come on, because you're hitting the brakes and trying to duck around a story here.
No,
real quick.
I'm gonna share one exactly like that. I'm
Okay,
gonna share.
cool. Go ahead.
And do you remember Oscar the promoter?
Oh, okay. Then this is definitely going to be like that. Go ahead.
Definitely
please.
a little
Yeah,
shiesty, yeah, dude. So there was a song called "Got My Vans On, but they look like sneakers." Do you remember that song?
No.
Bay Area is probably just like a West Coast thing, probably hitting in the Bay. And,
Got my Vans on, but they look like sneakers.
Yeah, and it was called the Pack, the Wolf Pack, the Pack. But that was their song, and these guys were like 18, and it was one song.
But Vans are sneakers.
Yeah, it was really weird now that I think about it. But we took him to the club, and hey, the cover's $20 tonight instead of 10. And and the kid, they loved it. You know what I mean? They weren't 21, so we couldn't give them booze or anything, but they were just like, wow. And it wasn't a big club. It was Club Chonies, as a matter of fact, and there was maybe 300-400 people in there, and it was packed. It was
That's
18
a
and over.
decent-sized club, 300-400 people.
Yeah, and they were just like, you could see their eyes, kind of like our first night at the Rock. Their eyes were wide open, like, oh, all these people came to see us. Oh, this is amazing. And but yeah, I mean, that was one of those deals where it's like, hey,
What was it, a radio tour?
Yeah, and dude, you know what? It might have been. Remember Leilani? Oh, she brought a couple artists. She helped us out with a couple artists, but not all of them that successful. There was a guy named Lunch that she brought, and you might have been there. It was at the Nile downtown. Remember that kind of theater looking place?
Oh yeah.
And
I was there like
out.
right before then, because the dude's floor was warping too.
It was like the wood floor that was kind of
warping. And I was like, what is wrong with you guys in Bakersfield? At that time, who were you living with? Mickey Rock at the time?
Was I living? Maybe. Yeah, I was living
And
with
his
Mickey
house was
Rockpad.
falling apart. And I was like, dude, this dude just paid $500,000.
Oh, jeez.
God bless Mickey Rock, homeboy. I ain't talking jazz. I love your wings, even though I've never tasted them, and I hope you make $1 billion. But yeah, the house. Come on, bro. Like they got you, bro. It was
the carpet.
what it was.
Remember the nails were sticking through on the carpet. You're like, ow, every time.
Yes.
And it was only like.
And I just renovated my entire house. Yeah,
Leilani Shu. That's right. Yeah, Leilani Shu. Yeah, she's still around too. We see her. She's actually. We're getting off this topic
I know.
all the time.
Wait, because I
Sorry.
want to get back to radio shows. So like, Adelaide was 20 years ago, dude. There's no way anybody's like. What are they gonna do? You think the FCC's coming after you for what I'm about to tell this story?
Nah, I don't think so.
I don't think it's gonna ruin anybody.
You're talking about Napster and all that stuff and downloading music illegally?
No, I'm talking about double dipping on them John B concerts, baby. Come on. What are you talking about?
Hey, dude, I'm just saying, dude. Hey, the clubs help us out. We're promoting it. We're giving the audience an opportunity to see a new artist, and the new artist is getting exposure in front of these brand new potential fans. I remember the guy Daz Dillinger.
Let's sugarcoat it. Let me just explain how this used to work. So back in the day, just in case you haven't heard us say this 7,000 times, Adlai and I were broke. Then you get into radio and you think you're going to make a bunch of scratch, and it's like, oh man, we make so much money, we're going to be flossing. We'd even heard stories from other DJs where they're like, I slid this contract across the table and they accepted my number. So me and Adelaide, when we were part-timers, we're like, once we become full-timers, we're going to ball out, picking out our cars and stuff. Then we get hired on, and they're like, yes, you will be at $5.26 an hour. We're like, what? We're DJs, man. Like,
what's minimum wage? $5.25.
Yeah. Like, yo, man, we're DJs. We can't be looking like that. We got to have some money in our pocket. And they're like, it is what it is. Find the money where you can find the money. Yeah. And I ain't ratting nobody out, but back then people were doing nefarious things to find money, far more nefarious than the stories I shall tell you. So me and Adelaide had a DJ clubs, But here's the rub. When you're DJing clubs, when you're Adley and Mike, and at that time called Sketch, you're the Chino brothers. So these guys would sell us out cheap. They sell the two of us for $50, literally. And then we had to split the $50. So it's like, man, we got to figure this out, bro. So there's some sketchier scams that we had ran in our day. Adley was in charge of that I won't bring up on this show. That'll be for the Patreon.
Patreon, yes, yes.
But he would cut half for me, which is why I will do my best for him on the Chino brothers. But what happened was eventually, like, people started knowing who we were. So it started with this dude who I've made fun of in previous episodes, called Metro Stevie from The Rock. Or no, I'm sorry, from the Metro. Yeah, but he was from. What was he from before that? Was
Roses and More.
No. What was it called before? It was called the Metro. It was called the Outback. It was called the Outback, and then it was the Metro. Anyways, yeah. So it started with this dude Stevie from the Outback, and he started having Hot 98.3 at the Outback before he had to change the name of the Metro. Yes, Roses and More is what he was known for before. So just in case you're new to the podcast, let me explain how I feel about this dude real quick. Adley loves when I do this. Hold on. This idiot went on the radio and put a commercial that was like, the Tucson police think I'm selling cocaine. I'm not selling cocaine. I only sell roses. It's none of their business where I got money for these nice nightclubs and expensive cars. I only sell roses. And we're like, bro, we never thought you sold cocaine until you told us on the radio. Now,
But if you are selling, I mean, nothing.
Here's the nice part. Here's the crazy part. Directly after that commercial came out is when he changed the name from the Outback to the Metro. Did you notice that?
So he owned the Outback.
Yeah,
I didn't know that he owned the Outback. I thought it was like a new. He was the new owner. Oh, interesting. Okay, so he changed the name,
dude.
Interesting.
The dude was shady. However, that dude also was so greedy, but he wasn't greedy for money. He was greedy to like be cool because he was a nerd, and he still is if he's alive. And if he's still alive, he's gasping, holding on to his last breaths. Steve, you're a nerd, and I'm saying it right here. But anyways, back to what I'm saying. So this cat, he was like, he wanted to be cool so bad, he would hire every DJ in town to DJ his clubs. And then we were the last two to fall. So he's like, hey man, well, I'll pay you both $100 cash. Okay, cool. So we go back to this club, we're getting paid $100 cash. We're like, word, man. But they didn't put us on because all the other DJs didn't want us on. So we sat at the bar and drank free beer while this idiot paid us $100.
Yeah.
Like, okay, cool, man. Doesn't bother me.
$100. That was like doubling our pay too.
That was
like
a lot of money.
We're like, whoa, yeah. $100, dude. That's $400 a month. And
it was for 2 hours. That was the thing. It was for 2 hours, and then we'd go to the grill, and then we'd go home and just be like, sweet. We didn't have to go to Cucarachas, or we didn't have to go to
any other club. The
Rock.
Rock.
What did we come after Cucarachas? It was the
Twilight.
It was the Twilight. Yeah, we didn't have to go to the Twilight tonight. All we had to do was just drink beer with good-looking people, because good-looking people went to the Metro. It was a high-end bar.
It was kind of like the good-looking people, and like you get some college overflow because it was like a club. Club is a big club.
Yeah, it was a giant club, and people dressed up. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. No gangsters, pretty girls, like high-end drinks. You know what I mean? Like the bar was separate from the club, so you walked over there and you could have a conversation in the bar. Like it was a classy joint.
Yep.
And we're getting paid $100 to do nothing there. Because the guy was a weirdo. But then he caught whiff that like I would do anything. So he gives me this bottle of Moet and is like, go over and tell these ladies if they give you your panties, I'll give them a Moet. I'm like, bro, I'm not doing that.
That's a little much, yeah. I don't wanna do that.
Now at that point, Adley and I understood, wait a minute. The radio station doesn't need to know what kind of money we're getting from these clubs. That's none of their business. Unfortunately, at the time, our GM thought it was his business. He wanted to know every penny we were making. If you owned a vending machine, this man would want to know all the dollars coming out of it. Am I lying?
True. True, yes.
But at the same time, he still essentially held our FCC license, which we didn't really need one, but Rascal told us that he needed one, and we thought that was funny. He essentially held our FCC license because he was like, look, I'm the one that's making you famous, so you got to DJ at the clubs I tell you. And we're like, no.
Yeah.
But we knew our days were numbered. So we went over to Kevin at the Twilight. And you can judge us for this if you feel like it. But I say don't judge us. We were just hungry young men. And like Kevin has no idea we're about to be forced to go to this club. And at the time, it was Rico was doing his club, and that club was a DUD, baby. There was nobody in that joint. There was nobody in that club. And the people that were there were like there for like the free crab cakes, because that's how low this man had to stoop. He had to put like a buffet or some stupid thing like that in there.
That's right.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, dude.
So we go see him, and of course this man's drinking in his own bar. Tall, handsome fella too. Looked like he could be an action hero. You know what I mean? A light-skinned brother, like
Former NBA player or something. You know?
Something. Yeah. Always dressed fresh. You know, like lived in a freaky deaky house from what I heard, because I wasn't going to them parties he always invited us to. But anyways, so we walk over to this man, and Adlai starts plucking him like a chicken. He's like, Kevin, you know, man, our clubs are popping all the time. And Kevin's like, yeah, I know. He's like, I mean, we might consider coming back. Wow, you know, that'll really help. Here's the problem, Kevin. We're getting paid a lot of money to do the Metro. So how about this? You pay us $2 a head for every person that comes over in here, over 150 people, on top of what you're paying the radio station. And he was like, okay, that sounds fair. And then every time an artist came to town, it was like, well, what venue should we have him at? It's like, oh, I got one for you. It's called the Twilight.
The Twilights.
Come on down, Johnny Z. Good to meet you, Mr. Mix from Two Life Crew. Y'all ready?
Oh, dude.
No, senor. No, senor. I don't even remember his second hit. What was his other hit besides that No Senor?
Did he have a
song?
second hit? EVP, help me out here.
Oh, Cuckoo. That was his second one. No tenemos mi cuckoo. No tenemos mi cuckoo. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
He had them 2 hits. But them hits were banging in Tucson, bro. So I was like, come on down, Johnny Z. Let's get it cracking.
Oh,
Johnny Z comes down. We had Ice-T there one night, dude.
Which is crazy. You told me about that. I'm like, that one, was he chilling at the table? He didn't perform, though, did he?
No, dude. We made a VIP section for him.
Okay, you were telling me about that.
Like, bro, we had like every artist that the record companies were like, hey, we can give them a press release with you guys. And we're like, we got you, baby. You know what kills me? You know what kills me? They were about to give us Mystical right before Shake It Fast came out. And I knew Mystical from No Limit. And I was like, Pac, take this concert. But I think it would have cut into something else that Pac was working with. You know what if you know what I'm talking about?
I got you.
So he turned it down. Could you imagine how much money the Chino brothers would have made on that concert?
If it was Shake It Is, Watch Me. Dude, if that was hitting, or what was the other song? Danger.
Oh, dude, that guy has a mile of hits. Did I do that?
Oh, yeah, that's right.
It ain't my fault. And then he has all the No Limit stuff that people still know. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Dude, that guy's phenomenal. And someone messed up that money for us, baby. But all that being said,
man,
you could judge us. You can call us Plugola. You can call us whatever you want to call us. But I'll tell you right now, as soon as Kevin took that deal, every morning house party promo ended with, and don't forget to go to the Chino Brothers this weekend when we're going to be at Twilight.
Oh, and so great.
Dude, you remember that? Dude, our first commercial, we got every single jock in the radio station to be on it. Even Alan Caith was on it, dude. Everyone was on it.
You got Alan Caith to be on
Everyone was on it.
For the Twilight?
Everyone was on it.
What did he say? What did he say?
He said, it's Alan Keezy, faux sheezy, in the heezy. In that nerdy Alan K voice. Yeah, dude. And then he was like...
He was the traffic dude.
Dude, and then he was like, Sketch, so how much is your talent fee for this? Am I getting a taste of it? I'm like, bro, you think I get talent fees? I split $50 with Adlai. Quit complaining. You're in radio. And I'm like, all right, good.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, dude, that was great, man. We even did some stuff like with the teen. I don't know if it was Boys and Girls Club or something like that too, but they would get a piece. It was like a donation.
Those were the ones that I'm not going to talk about on the air.
Yeah, but we did it for the kids. I mean, we'll leave it at that. But you know, what I'm saying? help raise money for the different like youth organizations and have the teen nights, and those would be packed too. Those would get busy
my
too.
Point. We lit up those. We played that commercial probably twice an hour. That promo, Twilight commercial.
Promo.
Yeah, we played that not just the morning house party promo, the actual commercial. I remember on your shift, you'd play it every break. You're like, we're lighting this place up, dude. We need money.
That was back in carts too. It looked like an 8-track tape. You slide it in, you'd be like, oh, I think it's time for
on your
this
show.
one.
It played like it would just continuously play and continuously play.
I played it as a sweeper between songs.
Exactly. Dude, but we showed up that following week, and that place looked like a rally. It was just like, it looked like that No Limit video, bro. Like, it was just like, bum, 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 bum.
Every phoner, they'd call and be like, yo, Adley, I want to make a request. I'm all like, oh, yeah. I want to hear Mystical, Shake That. But, oh, you know what? I play that all the time at the club called Twilights on Saturday nights. You should check it out. And
Pink Panties, $2. Yeah. Like, dude, we lit that place up like a gorilla, man. Like, it was just so raw, dude. It was so rough. And, like, the like, grimiest Tucson celebrities would show up at this joint. Like all the strippers from the fancy clubs, you know what I mean?
Well, the boat
like,
was down the street too, wasn't it? Yeah, like, it was on the east side. Yeah,
right. But all the GIs, all the military dudes,
oh, yeah.
like that was our classiest
east side was also
club.
Military.
Yeah,
that's
that
right.
was our classiest club, man. And like we would go and just put on a show. And I remember I'd be walking in the door, and I can't remember the security guard's name, but he would look over and he'd go, "Hey, Sketch," and I say, "Yeah," and he go, "You going to get your cuss on?" And I say, "Yes, I am." And I grabbed that mic and just started cussing.
Leon.
It was Leon.
Leon. He wore that hat. Like, it wasn't a beret, but it was like, maybe it was a beret, was it? Leon. Yeah. Oh, he was strapped too. Here was one of my breaks. They were all
strapped. Every one of them was strapped.
One of my breaks I always did was, "I'll kiss your lips under your navel at Twilight on Saturday nights." That was what I do my sexy voice, but yeah, you had to know. Hey,
bro, we had to get paid. That's the thing, man. So y'all could judge us for taking advantage of radio artists that were never gonna make big hits, that would draw a big crowd, for us taking the rake. But we were hungry. We were getting paid like $5 an hour, dude. We had to come up with some side hustles, bro.
I'll sugarcoat it, put my positive twist on it. Is everybody was happy because the artist got a new fan base. Hopefully, we got a couple extra bucks. And Alan got a nice little schedule, paid out of the, however he figured that out. But he got, the
there was no schedule, bro. That was all Pluggolo, bro. That was all Pluggolo. The whole thing was Pluggolo, dude.
Oh, too funny, dude. Oh my gosh.
It was. It was score for the door, bro. And that's illegal.
Good times. Hey, one thing about Twilight, the DJ booth, the glass.
That was
that bulletproof?
I not believe so.
I always wondered about that.
I do not believe so. I think the best DJ booth was the Perch at the Rock. That was absolutely it was the best, dude, because you were safe, and that club was gritty. Do you remember one time there was a girl giving fellatio to a guy on the stage while people were dancing? Do you remember that?
Probably.
DJ Joey was up there and he pointed it out. He was like, "Yo, man, that dude's getting brain." I was like,
What?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, dude. Scandalous. That's crazy. But
in the club, on the stage, at the Rock.
It was the 90s, man. What are you going to do, dude?
What were they doing?
The 90s was wild, man.
Were they doing like ecstasy or something? Like, what would possess you? I guess our music was just that good, man.
Yeah,
that's how good at DJs we were. We were so good at DJs that we make you do immoral things.
That everybody else got some except us.
Yeah, that's true.
That's how good we were.
We were good though, bro. You got it,
fun, man. It was a blast, dude. We always had a good time. Always had a blast.
Before we die, we got to do one more gig, just one more gig at least. I mean, I would love to tour, but I would love to do at least one more gig together.
That
would be fun.
Definitely, it'd be so fun. We got to shout out Gavin too. What's up, guys?
What up, Gav? All right, bro. So here's something that was on my mind earlier today. Then we'll get to the love advice. Then we'll get to the beef, which is really short. Then we'll get to our 2 news stories.
Okay. Okay.
And this is what's on my mind was because like all the like lame concerts that I've done, like that I've either hosted or been a part of, and you're always like, "Hey, Johnny Z, good to meet you, man." I've always wondered who sang those 2 songs, or and you had the guy from 2 Live Crew. Who was it? It wasn't Luke. It was like, hey. The backup singer from 2 Live Crew. Good to meet you.
It was the DJ Yella of.
Here's the thing. I've never met a celebrity my whole life that I was impressed by. I've never met like a Brad Pitt or like I've never met like the biggest person I ever met was Jessica Simpson, and like what's that? You know what I mean? Like, hey,
it's cool, right?
It's neat. Except I don't know any of her music, so it's like. Hello, Jessica Simpson. Now, don't talk to me about anything, because I don't want her to be like, "What do you think of this song?" I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, because I bet you if you're an artist, I was thinking about that. That's true that you mentioned that because we had the concert, and what I do at every concert, I got the poster of the concert with all the bands on it, and I leave silver Sharpies on it. I say, hey, band members, Bash, Baby Bash, sign this. Sign, Amanda Press, sign this, and we'll have them, and I'll have like 7 or 8. And it's cool. It's neat things. I want to kind of like give them away on the station kind of after the fact. Hey, it's an autographed poster of all the bands at the concert. It's a neat thing. Little memorabilia. But, dude, everybody starts fighting them. You got one of the band's moms. Dude, can I get one of those? And I'm all like, no, you can't get one. This is my idea. I put him here. They've been sitting here for 4 hours. And we've had to track down all the artists to get them to sign them. So, no, I'm sorry. Man, and people like fight for these things. And it got ugly. Like a shout out to Ron, one of my coworkers. He protected some for us.
Start punching people.
Yeah, but then
give it to him, Ron.
But then you think
that's what those people deserve.
6 months later, it's sitting in the back of your trunk in your car.
Wouldn't have happened if Trump was still president.
And it's collected dust. You got oil leaks on it and stuff, and it's like, man, remember that? And you just kind of forget about it, dude. I've got to go find all these autographed things I've got of people that came through the station that I'm like, I don't even remember who this is.
Well, dude, here's the next thing. They're never going to remember you. You know what I mean? And
that's for sure, yeah.
Like being nominally famous like me and Adelaide, you already know it. Like, you just met so many people, you will never... Dude, you could go to Mexico with somebody on, like, some weird coke bender and not remember the story. Be like, I never met that guy before. And it's like, dude, that was you almost got shot by the cartel. It's like, I don't remember that night. Yeah. You know what I mean?
What
like, yeah, that's how like not rememberable people are when you're famous. So like, I've never met anybody famous, nor do I even care because I know they would never remember meeting me.
But there are people that are like, I've got to get backstage and get a selfie with blah blah blah, and you're like, dude, it's gonna go on your Facebook. You'll get 30 likes, and life goes on. You know what I mean? Now, there's got to be... Well, Mike, there's got to be at least one person that you would like to get a selfie with. Is there?
No, not selfie.
Nothing?
Like, there's people I'd like to sit down and have a conversation with.
Okay.
And, like, that's why I think the podcast is dope, because eventually we'll get people that I find interesting to be on here. And then, like, dude, think about it. Dude, talking with Pac was dope. Talking with
true.
Talking with Malix was dope. Talking with everybody we've interviewed on here was dope. Like, and I'll remember those interviews, and they'll remember those interviews, and the people who watch them will remember them.
Yes.
So, like, me meeting, Baby Bash, dude,
it'd be neat. It'd be cool, but, I love
Johnny
the guy,
Z.
but,
I'm not mad at him, and even in me meeting The Rock, which I think is one of the coolest people ever, it's like, okay. Or Frank Turner, like, I could have dinner with Frank Turner. It's like, all right, you're not going to remember me. I know. Adam Carolla, I really like that guy.
Yeah.
You want to remember me.
It's got to be tough telling people like, dude, I don't want to be your friend.
Yeah.
And they're trying to be nice, but they're just like, this guy. So I see paper.
Yeah.
I see something happening.
Well,
what's going on?
Well, so speaking of artists and how famous artists are and stuff like that, this is going to be a real quick beef, but a real fun beef, because we're revisiting a beef, which is Ja Rule and 50 Cent.
Nice.
You think he wouldn't come back, huh?
The beef that never fully cooks.
I like that.
Zing.
Let's try that again.
I wrote
so
that down.
Put it on YouTube. Ready? Season 2, beef. This time, Ja Rule and 50 Cent again.
The beef that never cooks.
Very good. Very good. All right. So here's the thing. Are you familiar with Triller at all?
Is that a website?
No, it's a company that puts on these events, and they do these like weird boxing matches for Jake Paul, and then they also have an app that's sort of like TikTok. I don't know if the company knows what it wants to be yet, but it's doing everything it can to be famous. And it's either going to be the one that we're making, it's the MySpace, or it's going to be the Twitter. Like, it's going to be one of the two. Because everybody's fighting in that space for that kind of TikTok-y thing, but these guys are putting on events. So it's like, and they're putting on really interesting events for old school guys that like will pay for the pay-per-view. You know what I mean? So it's like, okay, who has money? Well, guys in their 40s. Okay, who wants to see another Tyson fight? Same guys. You know what I mean?
Very interesting. Okay.
Yeah, who wants to see a Vander Holyfield fight? Who wants to feed? So they're doing these type of things, and now they're doing this thing called Versus, and it's a pretty clever idea. So the idea was to have 50 Cent and Ja Rule go on the show and then go hit for hit with one another. And 50 Cent was like, dude, I'm producing power right now. Like, I don't have time for your corny, like, whatever this is. I don't have time for your YouTube channel. What is this thing called again? And they were like, oh man, come on now, Fifth. And he was like, I'm not doing it. So yeah, so they asked Fat Joe. And so it was Fat Joe and Ja Rule. You didn't hear about this on Verse?
Yeah, I heard about that. Yeah.
So did you watch it?
No, and you know what? It was kind of when you talked about the topic, I was like, I got to check into this. Then I saw it, and I probably would have watched it. I might even go watch it after the show tonight.
It's 3
just
hours.
To see.
It's 3 hours.
I'll fast forward a lot.
You're not going to watch it. It's one of those ones you got to have in the background, but it's relatively neat. And in fact, to be totally honest with you, like I only had it in the background for like 20 minutes. I'm like, I'm good. But the concept is you go hit for hit with a champion. So that guy's a champion and you're a champion and you go hit for hit. Here's the rub. Fat Joe doesn't have that many hits.
Huh. Okay.
Name them. Because I can keep going with the Ja Rules.
But could he had What's Love?
Like, dude, he kept going on songs that he was he collabed with the person that wasn't his song.
Okay. Like I'm sure there's a Big Pun song he was on, right?
Yeah. And what's the
he was
DJ
on with
Khaled,
R. Kelly.
DJ Khaled.
There was actually a really good. Oh, okay.
So it's a lot of that. Where Ja, it's all his songs. So he's like, why you keep singing other people's songs? Blah 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 blah. But Triller's kind of like YouTube, where you can comment while it's going on, and in the comments over and over again is 50 Cent destroyed Ja Rule, 50 Cent destroyed Ja Rule, 50 Cent killed Ja Rule, 50 Cent destroyed Ja Rule. Okay.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah. So at that point, 50 starts trending, and 50 goes on Instagram and he's like, WTF, I'm trending, foe. I said I ain't doing whatever they're doing. That's what he writes, right?
I did see him talking about that. Like, why am I trending? I'm not. Yeah, I'm chilling. I'm producing power. Yeah, that's stupid.
So then the comments just keep going, right? And so because the comments are going, he's trending on, like 50 Cent keeps trending on all social media platforms. And so his phone just must have been like, ba-bing, ba-bing, ba-bing. It's like, what is going on, you know? So then Irv Gotti puts comments in the section of what's going on. You know how the section's going up, and he puts them in the comments, and he goes, "All y'all talking is 50-ish. All good. He got beat up, stabbed up, shot up, and sued us. That's why I'm gonna say your hero ain't what you think he is. Period." And then at that point,
I don't get the burn.
I know. At that point, 50 goes back on the Instagram, and he has a picture of him just like smoking a cigar with
I saw that
cognac. And he says, I put the whole label out of business. F with me if you want to. I would stay out of my way if I wasn't me.
Because I saw that, I'm thinking like, okay, whether it was him that shut down the Murder Inc. label or not him, I mean, something happened. Can you prove that he didn't? Not really.
Well, we did a beef on here, and if you folks haven't seen it yet, I copped it into a clip on YouTube. I think it's about 12 minutes.
That's great.
It's the Ja Rule versus 50 beef. And you tell us who you think took down Murder Inc. Because I personally think it was 50 Cent. And I personally don't want 50 Cent having any problems with me. Like, that's the one dude on this show. I'm like, nah, bro, don't talk crap.
Yeah, don't shut down the Chino brothers, Fifth, please.
Yeah,
please.
like
you got over 200 followers now. Come on.
Hold on. So then Ja Rule goes on Big Tigger in the morning, and he said this. He says, so he brought up 50 Cent. I don't know if Ja Rule really hadn't known that 50 was kind of trolling or had known. I don't know if he knew or if he was hearing it for the first time. But he sounded like he was hearing it for the first time. He goes, man, he loves to talk that whack-ish. We are indicted by the feds. So I looked, and in 2003, Murder Inc. actually was indicted by the feds. So here's what happened. They made a straight-to-video movie called Crime Partners and funded it with drug dealers.
So so the feds were investigating him
of
on that
you
stuff.
You can't be trying. That's money laundering, man. That's racketeering. Like he's acting like it was like, hey man, we're just rappers and these feds came after us for no reason. It's like, man, you were laundering money and racketeering, dude. Like, Like it's public information, bro.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, and he's like, the
Wait,
feds eat you alive. Go ahead.
I gotta ask you then. I got a question. So, if it was 50 Cent and the feds that took down Murder Inc., who played the bigger role in the
50.
takedown of the slave?
5-0, baby.
That's a rhetorical question. But
What do you think? What's your guess?
I totally agree with you because I mean, it was so
You
bad
can't tour,
back
dude.
then.
You can't tour.
Yeah,
Where you make your money, bro?
Woo. Oh, and you're probably gonna get to the next thing. I don't want to say it yet, but I think you got something else that I wanted to comment on.
Okay. Next thing he says, the feds eat you alive. They suck all your resources and shut down your assets. So that's his explanation for why the record company couldn't tour in 2003 is because the feds shut down their assets. And that's cool, except that it's already documented, and not just by us, that
50.
well, what was it? Aftermath was going from venue to venue and being like, look, man, you want us to play? By the way, 50 Cent's the hottest rapper right now.
Yes.
Remember who doesn't play here. Oh, come on. Come on, Dre. They didn't say that. They're like, sure. How many times are you going this year? Can we get you guys like split up and not do a tour? Because when you guys are all here, we only make money once. But if 50 could come once, and M could come once, and Dre could come once, we'll get you some local rappers to open up for them.
Yeah.
I don't even know who Ja Rule is. You know what I mean? Then he says,
Poor Ja.
look, man, I'm battling like 17 rappers. You know what I mean? It's not just him. I'm battling 17 rappers. Who are the 17 rappers, bro?
Well, did he mention like G Unit? So there's like, well, like, was it
I feel
Lloyd
like by the
Banks?
time like G Unit's album came out, his musical body was cold. It was like he had already been buried for a while.
Yeah, it's
dude.
kind of ran its course. Yeah, I agree. It was towards the end of his musical career. Yeah.
And then he tops it off with this. You ready?
Mm.
Stop! Eminem made you, created you. You're nothing without that effing white boy.
Dude, I mean, come on, dude. Eminem's
Ja
a great
Rule when I said
rapper.
that, though?
You do kind of.
Thank you.
But 50 Cent, come on, man. Get Rich or Die Trying. I had that CD on repeat. Every song was a hit. It was such a great album. And even his next album was good with the Candy Shop, Magic Stick. It was neat and stuff. But Get Rich or Die Trying was just one of those, I'm going to say definitely in my top 10 best albums ever.
Here's my question to you. If you're Ja, and the last thing we know from you is the what was that island? The Fire Island. So if you're Ja Rule, and the last thing we remember of you is the Fire Island, do you really want to poke the bear? Do you really want to be like, hey, 50, guess what? I've seen you destroy careers, and now I'm gonna punch you in the mouth. Or would you just like pretend you didn't even know? I would be like, Irv, stop. Cut the comments off. That's it.
Yeah, at some point. I mean, come on. I mean, dude, how do you earn street cred? Getting stabbed, getting shot, getting in fights. You know what I mean? I mean, that's kind of like, you build that reputation up too. And it's like, hey, he got shot in the face. He's got a bullet hole in his jaw. It's like, dude, you know what I'm saying? There's street cred there.
When Jadakiss put his diss album out to 50, he was like, you didn't get shot again, so what are you going to write an album about? I was like, oh, man.
Jadakiss got skills, too, man.
Dude, Jadakiss is phenomenal.
Too,
he just has conspiracy theory problems. You know what I mean? Like, he
Yeah.
does, dude. But anyways, yeah. So that's the end of the beef so far. But in my mind, I mean, dude, come on. Seriously, tell me. If you're Ja, are you messing with 50?
I don't know. But here's the thing, too. At least he got to go on Big Tig's show and be on the air. And it's almost like when he says 50 without Eminem, you'd be nobody. It's kind of like Ja Rule at this point. Without 50, you're really irrelevant. Man. Don't you think?
That's what 50 should tweet back. 50, if you're watching this, Adley just gave you one.
Yeah, it's just like 50, it's kind of like Ja Rule.
No, man, because I feel like he could make it on his love songs because he had dope songs, dude.
He did.
That's
he
the
did
thing.
have
It's like,
songs,
bro, you're
so.
Barry Manilow's age when he started playing in Vegas. Just accept it. Stop trying to be hard because you're going to catch beating. This man is savage and he's not going to stop, dude. He's a grinder. But anyways,
What
yeah,
could
that's
I
our.
do without my baby? Just do that, dude. Do
Yeah,
it.
dude, and make paper. Go on tour and just pour money on top of yourself.
Dude, and remember when we'd play it, Put It On Me was kind of one of the end of the club songs. You know what I mean? And it was like, doom, 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 doom. When you'd hear that, you get the chills. And the dude would be like, time to Mac.
Getting up on the
It's
dudes.
my
That's it.
chance.
This is the Chino brothers hooking you up.
That's
And then the
right
second
there,
one
man.
was his next one was his make them say yeah. As soon as you heard that, dude, it was the same. Will you ride with me? Gonna die with me. And then it was just everybody like, dude, that's when you saw. Dude, I'm telling you, man, we controlled those crowds, bro. I don't know, man. I'm starting to wonder if we had some sort of weird Asian voodoo or something, man. I'm serious,
But it
dude.
was good. But back to Job, man, he had hits. He worked with a lot of great artists and stuff.
I know, but
and
I'm
he
still
did.
freaked out by that Asian voodoo, how we control them crowds. But neither here nor there, I agree with you. Ja has hits. Leave 50 alone. Let's get to some new beef. And we're talking about that Wack 100, that Wack 1 Heezy, baby. Tell me about this Wack 100.
Dude, so here's what's been going on with that, all right? It started Ray J, obviously, back in 2000, whatever. He has a sex tape with Kim Kardashian. It gets leaked. He makes a killer amount of dough on this
That's
thing.
how we know Kim Kardashian. Everybody talks about Kim
yeah.
Kardashian like she's some sort of princess from Sri Lanka or something. It's like, no, she was a porn actress. She
It
does
started
porn.
with the Ray J tape. And
She has sexual intercourse for money. That's what she does.
And you wonder, did it get leaked or did it's like, hey, let's
I think
leak
it leaked.
this? Yeah.
think
Let's
it leaked.
purposely leak this video and it'll
She's a
be an
scumbag.
accident.
She's a scumbag teaching kids how to behave in that manner.
Yeah. So you're kind of like, okay, because I mean, I tried to leak my sex tape, dude, and yeah, nobody cared. It just
I was the
nothing
only one that
happened.
watched it.
Thank you for that, by the way.
Well, right after that, I came up with this idea for the back of the limousine. You kept shutting it down. Anyways, come on, man. Tell me this Wack 100 beef.
So Wack 100, games manager, whatever. He's talking on a podcast, Bootleg Kev's podcast, and he's like, and they're talking like, yeah, well, me and Ray J, we used to we'd gift this. It's a sex tape, Ray J, Kim Kardashian, but apparently it's alleged. I don't know if it exists, but it's a part 2.
It's version 2, yeah.
Yes, and it's supposed
Electric
to be
Boogaloo.
more graphic, crazier, and just like more.
I never saw that
pornographic, I
tape,
guess.
and I'm not lying.
I feel like I when Malix was at the swap meet, I feel like I rolled by it a couple times. You know what I'm saying? Like, should I buy it? And then I was like,
Was it
I don't know.
Oh,
I didn't watch it, dude. I didn't watch it, but I'm sure I tried to download it on like Pirate Bay or something. I'm sure I tried.
Oh, dude, I never saw it. I'm not gonna lie, dude. I'll
Investigation. I was investigating.
The weirdest thing I'd ever seen in my life was something that Chico showed me one time. Maybe we'll talk about that someday. But anyways, so they're passing back and forth. So Ray J and Wack 100 are passing back and forth this tape
through the NFT. Now
they're passing it back and forth through an NFT.
So you've got to explain to the people watching NFT.
Okay, so how an NFT works is this. There's a digital property, and when you have an NFT, it rides on the blockchain. So because of the blockchain and the way the blockchain is written, this is really nerdy, but this is how it goes. It can't be replicated, and it signifies it's an original. But to me, so my buddy Zach I talked to on Wednesday nights, brilliant engineer. He's building a great app right now, dealing with ministry overseas, and then he just started his own startup, and he's writing all on the blockchain. So to him, blockchain technology is phenomenal. To guys like you and Malix, blockchain technology is Bitcoin and what's the one you guys like? Dogecoin. And Alicoin. Is there a new coin? And it's like, okay, it's not gambling. It's the most sophisticated way to use the internet, and it's the internet part 2, and it's the way to actually secure what belongs to you digitally. Because up until this point, you couldn't. You know what I mean?
So for example, if I'm an artist and I make a really cool drawing, I can protect it so people can't duplicate it.
Yeah,
digitally.
Sort of. They can duplicate it digitally, but you own the original. So now I own the Picasso. You guys can all have the fake Picasso all you want, but I still own the Picasso. Here's the problem, though, is that like people are making like little squiggles and selling them for like $800,000, and people are paying it because they're thinking that the price of Ethereum, which is the only way you can buy it. So Ethereum is a coin-based technology.
Is it Bitcoinish? kind of type?
It's a Coinbase technology, and
Crypto.
it's a cryptocurrency. So the only way you can buy it is through Ethereum, and so it's been raising the price of Ethereum over and over and over again. But Ethereum kind of rides with Bitcoin, and so people have been buying these stupid NFTs to just be like, yeah, dude, I own art, and I'm gonna make $1 trillion off it, and then they sell it like 2 weeks later for 20,000 more, 40,000 more. Because our economy is in a free fall of insanity, dude. Not because you're supposed to deal with NFTs. Like, you're not understanding the blockchain technology. Don't spend your money on it. Now that everybody's left, because I've been talking about blockchain, with that being said, if you have an NFT on an original, then you know it's not going to get duplicated if I'm selling it to you for $75,000, and then you sell it back to me for $100,000, and we keep. That's the only way to pass it is through Ethereum. So we have to give each other Ethereum to pass it back and forth. So now Wack 100 says what about this NFT?
So he's saying the only place, the only person that I will offer this to is Kanye West, and we know like Wack 100, dude, he's stirring it up, right? Because Ray J's like, dude, come on, bro. That's the past 10, 15 years ago, whatever it was. I'm a family man now. I'm a dad. I just, I don't want to be in that kind of light anymore, even though we know he made a ton of money on the first one. Let's be real. But Wack 100 is just throwing it out there because we talked about the Drake Kanye beef, and Kanye, it's already in his head that Kim Kardashian,
dude, he's got
is already cheating.
Can you imagine what the Kim Kardashian Kanye beef is going to be going forward? Like, that beef is like, think about it, man. These are the most petty people on the face of the earth. So if Wack 100 was like, bro, I got this NFT, I'll sell it to you, he could make whatever he feels like making.
Kanye will play whatever
because
amount,
Kanye
I
wants
would
to
think.
Then put it out into the world and be like, oops.
Or think about this. Kanye wants to buy it because he's like, I don't want anybody to see this because that's the mother of my children with another man. Oh, it could go either way. It could go either way. I don't know if you
listened to last episode that you were a part of, but Kanye tricked one of the greatest artists in hip hop into making a song that he said was going to be about his dead mother, just so he could diss Drake. Do you really think he's gonna hold on to that NFT with precious gloves? I don't believe so. I believe Kanye is a petty man, and he's going to put that out into the world and be like, hey, who wants to see the vagina of the woman who cheated on me with Drake? Even though Drake's trying to say he didn't do it.
And I think it's kind of petty too. The other side is he's so petty, he doesn't want anybody else to see his wife with another man, though, in a sense. I don't know.
Everybody's seen it who's seen that
you think he would leak it out? You think he would do it?
Yes.
Interesting.
Bro, he had Andre 3000 and told him they were going to write a song about their dead mothers. And then he used it to diss Drake.
Yeah.
Interesting. You're going to tell me that that's not, like, phenomenally insane? Like, there's not, like, you think releasing a sex tape of someone who's already had a sex tape out and is only famous because she had a sex tape out is worse than pretending that you're going to write a song about your dead mother to the greatest artist in hip hop so that he comes out of retirement only so you can diss someone who said something mean about your pool?
Yeah. Very petty. Extremely petty. I'll agree with you there.
Stick with your story if that makes you sleep at night.
We're following, though. We're following the story because I do want to see how this unfolds. And Wack 100, if he really has this, and you put it in the NFT, put the NFT on it so nobody can duplicate it or whatever. It's protected.
You can still duplicate it. That's the thing.
Oh, you can't.
I just have the original. I have the original.
Okay.
So essentially, every single episode of the Chino Brothers, you or I can turn into an NFT and just be like, "This is the original one." As soon as it's done with StreamYard, download it. That's the original one. Now I have to have it authenticated as an NFT.
I got you. Okay.
Then if the Chino Brothers blow way up, we could sell the NFT. All right, but there's everybody who can still bootleg it off of YouTube, everybody who could download it from YouTube, all those things, or Facebook, or all the places that we broadcast because we're blowing up.
Yeah, exactly.
We'd still have the NFT. NFTs are so hard to explain to people.
It's weird. I've read about them before, but now you're explaining it more. It's making a little more sense.
Dude, the blockchain is what people, before everybody just jumps off into this idiot, I'm going to gamble. Understand what the blockchain is. It's technology. It'd be like if they're like, hey, guess what? We made a battery that can constantly be charged. And everybody's like, it'll make a dope slip and slide. That's what's going on right now with all these Coinbase technologies that are just like, oh, well, I guess these idiots will buy it. Yeah, there's only 10,000 of them. Are they expensive? It's up to you.
Hey, I made money on Dogecoin. I lost it all, but for a week and a half, I made money.
Dude, here's how you make money. Don't spend more than you earn. Keep saving, and then invest into something that you know something about, and then make it bigger than anybody could make it.
Nice,
That's it.
dude. Live below your means.
Other
Yes,
than that,
absolutely.
All this Dogecoin, flipping houses, all this stuff, it's not legit. So yeah, so the ball's in Wack 100's court essentially. Is that what you're saying?
That's what it sounds like. Because you know what? Now that I remember, he does have the laptop with the video, is what he says. The laptop's
then he
15.
then he definitely has that NFT, baby. That's on him.
How much?
Yeah.
How much is Kanye going to pay for that? What do you think? It's got to be the millions, right?
I'm
Tens?
going to say it's in the 100 millions.
100 million.
200 million was the first thing that popped in my head.
200. I bet you're not far off. I bet that's about right. It's gonna, dude, there's people richer than Kanye that probably would be down to buy that.
Yeah, but I feel like Wack 100 will only sell it to Kanye, and the thing is that dude's holding on to his street cred for a long time, bro. When you're holding on to your street cred for a long time like that, you're not going to do a punk move. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay, if he sold it to someone else, that's a punk move.
It's definitely a punk move.
Don't you think it's kind of like not cool though to be like, hey, bro, I got something you want. I'm only going to sell it to you. Well, give me a number.
Bro,
if you're a homie, you'd be like, here.
Money changes everything, dog.
Yeah.
The amount of money that we're talking about, and I'm not saying I would do it. Like, bro, you were asking me about being on OnlyFans for $50,000, and I was like, that money wouldn't change me. 200 million, man.
Everybody's got a number.
I don't know, dude.
Yeah, that's gonna change it.
But if it was your ex-wife's sex tape, I'd be like, dude, if you do whatever you want to with this. I don't get it away from me. I don't want anything to do with
Would
this.
you watch it first?
No.
Okay, good. That'd be weird.
No.
So weird. But yeah, no, but it's interesting to watch too, because I'm thinking like, where did he get it? He obviously probably paid someone for it somewhere to get this thing, and if it is legit, it's going to be worth a lot of money to Kanye. Whatever he does
we're gonna
with
follow
it.
that story. But right now, we're going to close out the show. It's 10:02, guys. This is our first 1 hour show. I'm very proud of myself for getting all this information to y'all. We skipped the love advice tonight. We apologize, but we will bring it back to you on, what is today? Tuesday? Thursday?
Oh, Thursday.
But real quick, we want to do some shout outs. Adelaide, who do we want to see on this show?
Oh, we want to see, first of all, everybody from KOHT, the morning house party for sure. So we're talking, we'll get Paco back on here.
Vicky Valle. This is the Chino brothers. Individually, Vicky Valle. Yes, we want the morning house party, but you personally, Vicky Valle, the Chino brothers want to interview you.
Yes.
And Adlai is way better at asking because people listen to him and not to me. So I'm expecting you two to talk this week. What do you say about that, Ad?
Vicky Valle, I'm going to shoot you a DM right when we get off. Right when we close this down, I'm going to shoot you a DM, and we're going to plan something in the near future. I want you on here within the next 3 to 4 episodes. Let's plan something. Let's get her on here.
Right
I'm
on.
down.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching the Chino Brothers. Check us out on YouTube. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do so. We're at 166 subscribers. Something even cooler, though, bro. 100,000 impressions and I think 60,000 views.
We're making moves, man.
I hope so. I think we're doing proper, and I hope this episode helps us. All right, guys. Stay up.
We should probably NFT this.
Yeah.
Going forward. Thanks, everybody, for
Only if
watching.
it's
We'll
a
see you
porno.
next time.